Previously on the greatest estate developer. Our hero shattered the corrupt tower, outwitted the ruthless system, and faced an unstoppable enemy, unleashing a city-wide siege that threatens everything. And now the story continues. The Queen's cure sparks celebrations, but the legendary jewel erupts, scattering shards across the capital. June strides out of the courtroom, his hero's badge barely enough. Winterheart's shattered core still claws at the kingdom. He clenches his fists, swearing to seal the cracks before darkness spreads. He darts toward the Queen's urgent summons, the weight of destiny pressing his steps. June whispers the oath, binding himself to the Winterheart's ruin. The Queen's command blazes in his mind. Abandon all, erect a new monument wherever she wills, this instant. Purpose fuels his heart, but the ticking clock gnaws at his resolve. He sets out to hunt the 12 legendary fragments that can forge the fabled jewel. June nods, pledging the kingdom above all. Determination hardens. He clamps the blueprints tighter, barking orders for swifter progress. Understood. The Queen's deadline looms like a blade. Hyun's voice trembles. That hurts, as the tension between them sharpens. June leans in, whispering, "Tell me what you need." Their bond frays, jeopardizing the alliance required for the Queen's construction order.
That hurts.
Tell me what you need. June now steels himself for the imminent race against the Centaur Guard. June's heart pounds as Winter's icy presence materializes, a cold sting gripping his chest. He hurls a frustrated shout at the clueless blockhead obstructing his plans, the tension between them boiling over. June spreads the map, pointing to the southern plains as their next objective. Mira nods, explaining the region holds a rare alloy essential for their project. Ryo adds the material is critical for the new estate's foundation. They steel themselves for a grueling trek across unforgiving terrain. Mira reveals the coveted core material switched hands after the Great Race War, now guarded by the Centaur tribe. June realizes that securing the Centaur's trust could unlock the Talp's location. Their hunt will thrust them straight into Centaur lands. Acknowledging the plain's endless stretch, June proposes deploying the giant hamster, Yang as a swift scout. Mira agrees, noting Yang's blistering speed. The guard captain outlines the race. The challenger picks the finish line, the victor claims the prize. June protests, fearing another mission's collapse, urging the master to secure victory. Both sides brace for the showdown.
Here are the rules.
I can't let this become another Lost Kingdom scenario. The race rules lock in, and June readies his stride. The guard captain warns that Centaur runners match the speed of a master swordsman. June scans the distant hills where the tribe gathers, feeling the weight of the challenge. Beating a centaur means outrunning a warrior of legend.
Centaur's speed matches a sword master.
June vows to prove his swiftness. The guard captain bellows a warning as a freshly erected stone wall blocks part of the course. June veers left, cutting around the barrier, splitting the racers into two streams. The centaur commander snarls, demanding June's surrender.
Wall.
The crowd gasps as a legendary figure appears on the sidelines. A centaur beside the barrier mutters an ancient chant, hooves stamping restless. June glances back, witnessing agitation ripple through the pack, some racers faltering. The crowd gasps as a legendary figure steps onto the sidelines, eyes fixed on June. The guard captain thrusts his spear toward June, shouting, "Human!" The centaur chieftain pauses, eyes widening at the lone runner's audacity. Tension spikes as the tribe prepares to confront the outsider.
Human.
The chieftain steps forward, ready to challenge June's claim.
June bursts from the starting line, weaving around the sudden stone wall as the guard captain roars, "Human!" The centaur chieftain's massive charge stutters, halting before the lone runner, eyes locked in fierce challenge. June feels his lungs sear and his heart pound, knowing victory could earn his tribe's respect while defeat would drown him in humiliation and the tribe's scorn. The centaur warriors surge behind their chieftain, the barrier looming ominously. The guard captain's warning hints at a deeper trial, leaving the race's finish line and June's fate teetering on the brink.
He's the only one who found the exploit. Subscribe to Manwa with Hari to watch him use it.
The timer ticks. The fastest claims the city. Hama grins, fresh from victory. He demands the chief appear, claiming his win grants leadership. Elders exchange uneasy glances, torn between tradition and ambition. Hama's demand upends the tribe's power balance. It forces a speed test that could crown a ruler. Tension crackles among the racers, each eyeing the prize.
Since I've won, you'll bring me to your chieftain, right?
Hama's boast ignites a brutal speed Rite showdown. Accusation slices the crowd. Quana shouts, "Hama cheated, prove it by running." Hama snarls, demanding the race decide everything. Tribe women watch, poised to crown the fastest suitor. The dispute erupts, forcing a public contest to settle honor. Hama laughs, boasting he's felt countless women's longing eyes while sprinting. He feels them while sprinting. He says those glances teach true attraction. His heartbreaker reputation spreads across the tribe. He swears charisma will carry him to the finish line. His legs match his confidence. Confidence fuels performance. His swagger may rally supporters.
Because I've seen the eyes that women look at me with. That's why I know it so well.
As tension spikes, Hama eyes the starting line, ready to prove his claim. Quana sighs, calling the speed obsession sickening. She points out every talk circles around who outruns whom, ignoring other virtues. Her frustration hints the tribe blinds itself to deeper threats. A young centaur, clutching a ceremonial spear, runs to the chief and asks, "Dad, you've heard of the legend of the Lightspeed human, right? He could be the one." The chief looks puzzled, remembering old stories of a human who outran the wind. The child urges the chief to consider that legend as a possible solution to their stalled speed record. This matters because the tribe's honor depends on breaking the record soon. The chief ponders the legend as the council gathers. The chief leans in, eyes narrowing, and says, "Ho, I see. If you truly are the legendary Lightspeed human and can fix our speed problem, we'll give you the top."
The chief hoists the glowing top. A blinding flash ignites ancient runes. The ritual wavers as Ghoul Lloyd snarls. He vows to enslave the chief and crush every centaur. Quana erupts in furious rage, Hama choking on humiliation. Their shattered hopes for the Lightspeed human salvation turn into bitter resentment, threatening to splinter the tribe's unity. Lloyd hovers over the chief, clawed hand poised to bind the leader forever. The tribe teeters on the brink of subjugation. They are desperate for a savior before darkness consumes them.
Final chance. Subscribe to Manwa with Harry.
Builders race against time, steel ribs snapping, kingdom shuddering. Lee Jun-woo, famed estate mogul, perches on a lofty balcony, eyes scanning the thrum of cranes like iron forests. Whispers ripple among laborers, his audacious blueprint. Noble lords stare, uneasy at his swelling sway. The city quivers beneath the looming tower, a promise of wealth or ruin. Jun-woo hesitates, wondering if he should bless the centaurs with swifter feet. Jun-woo confesses his doubt. He weighs granting the centaurs the Asrahan core, granting flight with an Alab blast, yet the herd balks, snarling for raw speed instead. The clash pits arcane breakthrough against ancient custom. His gaze drifts to the growing pile of wounded bodies, a grim tally of relentless sprinting. Dion steps in, pleading, "Stop harassing the female centaur, this is uncomfortable." Kughai mutters a low RFT, his frustration palpable. The tribe's obsession with speed smothers basic decency, threatening deeper division.
Stop, you're making her uncomfortable.
Tensions rise as mockery edges toward violence, and the Lightspeed human looms. Kughai erupts in manic laughter, taunting, "Snail wretch, you're meddling again." His jeers cut sharp. Dion fires back. The crowd's scorn deafens you, lost to the speed cult. The insults fan the flames, pushing the tribe toward a breaking point. The chieftain bellows, "What chaos is this?" The field falls silent, awaiting his decree. His authority could halt the reckless sprint.
What's going on here?
A bold voice rises, challenging the chieftain's claim to command. Debate erupts over Shu Mahal's speed. One centaur shouts, "He's faster than any we've seen." Another scoffs, "You've never watched him run, you're just guessing." Their argument fuels the tribe's obsession, pushing the race toward peril.
Shu Mahal is fast. I'm serious.
A centaur stepped forward, voice trembling with fury. "This race is a cruel tradition," he shouted, demanding an end to risking lives for speed. Murmurs rose, some nodding, while the chieftain remained mute, eyes fixed on the fallen.
What kind of stupid tradition is that?
The chieftain's next move could end the sprint forever. The chieftain scoffed, calling the tribe's leaders brainless idiots for resisting change. He warned that even if he tried to ban running, Common Kai or his own father could overturn the decree. Power rested with higher nobles, preserving the deadly tradition.
Because there are just brainless idiots? Well, that depends.
Shu Mahal slams into a massive oak, the bark splintering. He immediately drops to his knees, cradling the fallen child, his eyes fierce with protectiveness. The act shatters the glorified momentum of the race, replacing triumph with raw compassion. The tribe watches, stunned, as the champion's mercy sparks a storm of conflict. Junwoo must now face the ancient code, while the chieftain's pride teeters on the edge of collapse. The assembly trembles, torn between preserving the brutal tradition and heeding Junwoo's plea, as the wounded child's fate hangs precariously over the tribe's future.
If you want the best narration on YouTube, you found it. Subscribe to Manwa with Harry.
The contract seals, the tower's core flares to life. The title, The Greatest Estate Developer, blazes across the heavens. Lee Junwoo stands on a windswept cliff, parchment trembling in his grip. He inks a land acquisition pact with the estate chief, the royal official overseeing all holdings. Sunlight hardens the ink, a sunrise oath that births his empire-building crusade. Noble eyes flicker with distrust. The official remains skeptical of Junwoo's audacious scheme. Lee Junwoo storms the market square, eyes locked on a schemer hovering over a half-built lot. The local duke sneers, measuring every stone. Junwoo confronts him, demanding answers. The crowd parts, tension crackling like static. Their clash catches Yoon Si-yeon's gaze. She frets over the looming deadline. Confused, Rasim questions the centaur's sudden pause, wondering why the ground trembles. The centaur explains they must rally every centaur and forge a catalyst that will decide the race's fate. This strange device will tip the balance of power. Both watch the ritual as the catalyst forms, aware that its activation will seal their destinies. What is he doing?
We need a catalyst for our victory.
Rasim eyes the glowing core, plotting how to counter its surge. The centaur boasts that Rasim is rumored to be a lightspeed human who can soar with arcane wind, then sneers that he has no chance. Rasim roars that the race ends in a dead heat, both combatants collapsing from brutal blows. Junwoo's armor clangs as he hits the ground, magic sputtering out. Rasim's hooves falter, breath heaving, as he too falls. The crowd gasps, some cheering the stalemate, others whispering disbelief. A voice wonders whether Kim Suho's scheme ever succeeded, hinting at his failure. The draw forces the tribe to confront the cruelty of their speed Rite. The following scene depicts the aftermath of the collapse. Medics swarm Junwoo, hoisting his limp form onto a stretcher. Centaur allies pull Rasim up, his mane tangled in a rope. Blood and magical residue slick the arena floor, glinting ominously. Rasim launches into a tirade, questioning his right to lecture on speed. He mocks the crowd for acting like lunatics, calling them rampaging. The nobles shift uncomfortably, aware of his sarcasm and the underlying tension. His rant fuels resentment toward the speed ritual, unsettling the audience. This speech primes the crowd for the final showdown over the tribe's speed doctrine.
Everyone thinks I'm ridiculous to lecture on speed, right? Think all of you are ridiculous. You thought you were rampaging lunatics.
The next moment, Junwoo readies himself for the brutal speed test. Rasim raises his voice, slamming the centaur tribe for clinging to a pointless tradition.
Rasim shatters the ancient speed ritual, raising his fist and thunderously declaring a new era free from the barbaric tradition. The crowd erupts, shocked disbelief rippling through the arena as the old rite crumbles. The memory of his child's broken arm throbs in his mind, igniting a fierce resolve that fuses personal anguish with the tribe's collective suffering. Every heartbeat becomes a battlefield between love and rebellion. A hesitant centaur steps forward, seeking direction, as an elder warns that the race has turned into a war of public opinion. The fate of the ritual and Rasim's crusade now hangs on a razor-thin edge.
There was a hidden detail in this chapter you probably missed. Subscribe to Manwa with Harry, and I'll reveal it next time.
The tribe declares a blood price. Anyone who opposes must die before the city falls. Lee Jun-woo, famed as the greatest estate developer, steps into the arena. The crowd roars, "Ban racing," and brands him a traitor. Execution hangs over his head, heightening the danger.
Ban racing. Traitors to our tribe.
Council fury now drives a lethal verdict. Conservative zealots scream, "Execute anyone who denies our tribe's spirit." Their shouts ricochet through the hall. They label dissenters enemies, demanding death for every tradition breaker. The call threatens to spill blood instead of words.
Execute those denying our spirit.
Liberals ready a counter chant. The boss sketches a flawless track. No walls, no hazards, pure racing ground. He urges the crowd to picture a smooth course where speed reigns safely. The vision preserves the sport while erasing danger.
Imagine a track with no obstacles, pure racing.
He promises the arena will end accidents. The boss declares the obstacle-free arena will halt all crash deaths and unleash new records. The pledge rallies supporters, heightening the final showdown stakes.
No more victims, new records await.
The ultimate test looms. A race versus Centaur champion share awaken. An elder bellows, "Great arena." Then flips, moronic, "We need no arena." A rival shouts, "Nonsense." The clash reveals a tribe split on the proposal. Share awaken strides forward, demanding a one-on-one race with Jun-woo. He declares, "The loser leaves the region instantly." The duel stakes the humans' claim to the land.
Share awaken challenges you, Lightspeed human. Winner stays, loser leaves.
Jun-woo counters with his own arena condition. Jun-woo retorts, "If I win, I'll fund and build the arena myself." The tribe hears the promise, sensing control over the project. The stakes surge. "If I win, I'll build the arena myself." Jun-woo declares he'll simply run. Jun-woo announces, "I'll run plain, no tricks, no magic." He bets on raw speed. The Centaur crowd, used to clever tactics, feels uneasy. "I'm just going to run." Jun-woo yells, "Humans are far stronger than they think." He lifts his hand, the horn blares, "Go." Both surge forward, arena erupts in cheers. The finish line looms, the result decides the arena's destiny. Humans are far stronger than the world thinks. Go. The final sprint decides who builds the arena. Lee Jun-woo erupts from the gates, muscles straining. Share awaken charges beside him, hooves drumming the ground. Dust swirls, banners wave, spectators roar. The arena floor cracks beneath their speed. The race now determines the tribe's future. Share awaken eyes Jun-woo, poised to press harder. A Centaur elder lifts his horned head, issuing a harsh warning. Spectators chant, "Her," as the racers near the finish. Jun-woo ignores his throbbing thigh, pushes his legs beyond human limits, and the spring harness clicks with each stride. The arena's future hinges on his engineered speed versus the Centaur's raw power. If Jun-woo wins, the tribe must accept the new arena.
Lee Jun-woo straps a spring harness to his injured thigh. The coils snap, converting his pain into kinetic fire. He charges, challenging the Centaur's thunderous sprint toward the finish. Jun-woo risks his life and his tribe's honor, feeling searing thigh pain while proving humanity's ingenuity can match raw strength. Divided cheers tremble around his desperate gamble. As the spring harness clicks each stride and the Centaur rockets ahead, the arena's fate teeters on a razor-thin line. Jun-woo's thigh bleeds, and the final victory hangs in balance.
End of the chapter. Time to subscribe to Manwa with Hari.
The arena erupts, marble arches trembling. The greatest estate developer hurls his final blueprint onto the ground, sparks flying. Lee Jun stands at the starting line, sweat already dripping. His energizer, aura flickers electric blue, primed to explode. The crowd roars, their shouts ricocheting off stone. A herd of Centaur-type racers lines up opposite him, muscles coiled like steel springs. A towering Centaur scarred across his flank snarls, flexing massive shoulders. Lee Jun lifts a hand, a silent command. A horn blares, the gate slams down. Lee Jun rockets forward, feet pounding the track in perfect rhythm. The Centaurs thunder ahead, hooves drumming the ground. Heat floods his lungs, burning with the first strain. A sharp shout erupts from the stands, and the display flashes a new ranking. Lee Jun's position slides to second as the Centaur champion surges ahead. Pressure mounts. Each footfall now carries the weight of victory. The crowd's chant rises, urging him to fight back. Regaining the lead becomes his immediate goal. 2. A massive horse icon, the Chinese character Chinese letter, blazes across the track. Lee Jun panics, shouting that he won't make it, that the race is lost. The crowd's cheers turn to gasps as his confidence wavers. His daughter's eyes widen, mirroring his fear. Failure now would strip his family of the coveted estate prize. The looming mana draining monster watches, ready to devour any misstep. Lee Jun yells his mantra, "To the end, just like I first started." He pumps his legs, matching the centaur's thunderous hooves. The crowd roars, arena lights flash, his heart pounds like a drum. Each shout fuels his push, keeping his pace level with the champion. Maintaining this rhythm is crucial. A falter widens the gap and the prize slips away. Yet his stamina begins to crumble, breath shallow, muscles screaming. Lee Jun feels his breath shallow, muscles burning, yet he repeats the chant, "To the end of life, just like I first started." He glances at the looming monster shadow, its power meter ticking down. The race nears the finish line, but fatigue threatens a slowdown. A chilling voice rings out from the arena's upper balcony. It belongs to a noblewoman cloaked in dark robes, eyes fixed on Lee Jun. She says she knows who he truly loves, but cannot ignore the ancient tradition that binds his lineage. She mentions his daughter, hinting that the girl must inherit the family duty. The centaur roars past. The monster's energy bar flashes a critical warning. Lee Jun feels his heart pound, realizing his personal choices affect his bloodline's future. The spectators hold their breath, aware that any failure could doom both the race and his family's legacy. The voice's warning pushes Lee Jun to consider a different strategy, perhaps using the lever to calm the monster.
Lee Jun slams the lever hard. A massive gate crashes into the pit, sealing the rampaging centaur. The arena's mana gauge flares crimson, cutting off the monster's power. The crowd erupts in stunned silence as the arena steadies. Lee Jun feels his own mana ebb, while the crowd gasps at Suho's vanished power. Victory now hangs on a single breath of energy. Butte smirks, clutching a concealed artifact. The centaur's dying glow hints at a hidden resurgence, leaving Lee Jun's fate teetering on a volatile edge.
The system is broken, and we're here for the glitch. Subscribe to Manwa with Hari.
The skyscraper crumbled, the banner, the greatest estate developer, sagging over shattered stones. Lloyd Frontera, eyes bloodshot from sleepless nights, leans on a cracked column. He mutters, "I'm so cursed tired. Why won't this old man fall yet?" He watches the elderly figure clutch a stone pedestal, refusing to topple. Lloyd needs the old man's collapse to trigger his new spring device. Without the fall, his plan stalls. "I'm so cursed tired. Why won't this old man fall yet?" Lloyd still hopes the old man will finally give in. Lloyd stomps forward, dust swirling around his boots. The old man shifts, knuckles white on the pedestal. A gust rattles the torn banner overhead. "You're from another world, can't adapt?" Lloyd probes, eyes narrowing. The old man sighs, confessing a lifelong silence since youth. Their dialogue uncovers a cultural rift and buried secrets, tightening the knot around Lloyd's isolation. The old man's quiet hints at a family scandal that could shatter their fragile alliance. "You're from another world, can't get used to this world."
I've been quiet since I was young.
The old man's silence hides deeper truths. Lloyd laments losing his beloved barbecue stalls, a promise he made to his dying father. He reveals his parents were arrested for swindling a corrupt politician, now facing a harsh trial. Paris steps closer, eyes locked on Lloyd's determined face. She folds her arms, studying his clenched jaw. The cramped room hums with tension as the debt looms. She asks a sharp question, cutting through his confidence, forcing him to confront his stubbornness. The words hang heavy, challenging his belief that sheer will alone can solve their crisis.
What is with that tenacity of his?
Lloyd addresses the workers, proclaiming that everything went according to plan and they must now build the arena. Paris frowns, asking why his soul lost the mysterious powers that once helped him win. Lloyd replies that without those powers, he can still triumph using his engineering mind. The crew exchanges uneasy glances, sensing the stakes of relying solely on skill. The giant hamster tilts its head, as if judging the conversation. Everything went according to plan. We just need the arena now.
Why did your soul lose mysterious powers? You could have won.
The construction crew prepares the ground, but a hidden rival watches. Lloyd stops mid-step as a voice calls him, Master Lloyd.
Lloyd unfurls fresh parchment, sketches the arena's foundation, and proclaims his triumph. An enigmatic elder emerges from the shadows, crowns him Master Lloyd, and reveals a hidden bond to Kim Soho, sealing his destiny. Paris watches, frustration flaring as Lloyd's fresh authority overshadows her influence, fearing the disappearance of the mysterious power that once guaranteed their clan's future. The workers fall silent, eyes glued to the blueprint, while the elder's cryptic promise whispers of an unseen threat, leaving Lloyd's destiny and the arena's fate teetering on the edge of peril.
That impact was felt through the screen. Subscribe to Manwa with Hari for more.
Time freezes. The developer's greed threatens to level the whole city before dawn. Lloyd steps forward, shouting that he can halt time everywhere except the spot he stands on. He claims to hail from another world, wielding countless powers. The confession reveals his coveted time freeze ability, the key to reshaping the construction timeline. He's never tried it, and every worker watches, hearts pounding. Lloyd roars, "Do whatever you want." The crew freezes, stunned by his daring order. A rookie raises his eyebrows, then slams his fist into the dusty ground, sending grit flying. Murmurs ripple, then turn into firm nods as his commanding tone settles over them. Confidence radiates from Lloyd, driving the men forward. The union rep sneers, Master Lloyd, mocking his broken promises. He accuses Lloyd of erratic whims. Lloyd retorts, demanding obedience. Their heated clash stalls the schedule. Frozen time freezes all work while they argue. Every second drains the precious freeze, threatening arena completion. Lloyd then turns to his giant hamster ally to push the next phase. Lloyd summons Hammond, the massive hamster, to haul stone blocks and beams for the third phase. Hammond scurries across the site, dragging heavy loads. Meanwhile, Lloyd chants Hangul runes, and the glyphs solidify instantly into concrete walls. In seconds, the arena's barrier rises, sealing the track. The swift construction proves the time freeze works, turning the impossible into reality. With the foundation solid, Lloyd withdraws the covering scene. The grand arena glints under sunlight. He bellows, announcing the inaugural race to the assembled crowd. Spectators erupt, chanting for the riders. The race will test Centaur's speed and prove the arena's worth. This debut validates Lloyd's gamble, pulling the kingdom's focus to his masterpiece. Welcome to the first Centaur race. The crowd's roar fuels the looming showdown. Lloyd faces the crowd, acknowledging supporters and opponents of the arena. He cites bans on impromptu races and the new Speed Village law. He declares, "I back this project, criticism aside." His confidence sets a bold political tone. Murmurs ripple, dividing the audience. Lloyd steps forward, apologizes to the crowd, and declares he must take the first turn due to an urgent matter. He mounts his centaur before anyone else, seizing an early lead. This reveals his hidden agenda and grants a strategic edge. "Sorry, I'm going first because I've got something urgent to attend to." The horn sounds and Lloyd rockets ahead, priming his secret plan. Lloyd triggers his winterbutt power. A blinding flash erupts from his palm and the arena freezes mid-race. Dust lingers, hooves suspended, spectators locked in shock. Lloyd strides forward, scanning the crowd, his mind racing to seize the quiet. He intends to announce his proposal uninterrupted.
Lloyd unleashes his winterbutt, a blinding flash that freezes the arena mid-race. He lunges forward, shouting his long-delayed proposal to Sharon, turning the spectacle into a bold, public declaration of love. His daring confession puts his reputation on the line, forces Bella to publicly berate his tardiness, and ignites the crowd's frenzy. Lloyd now teeters between heroic triumph and crushing humiliation, love trembling in the icy air. All eyes fix on the frozen arena as the thaw begins. The race's result, Sharon's answer, and rival nobles' retaliation hang in uncertainty, threatening Lloyd's future and the kingdom's fragile peace.
Embrace the chaos. Subscribe to Manwa with Hari.
The final scheme of the greatest estate developer ignites a citywide war. Lee Jun-woo unveils a colossal tower on the capital's rim, branding it his last masterpiece. He vows untold wealth. Lord Gwang watches, uneasy. This tower could tip the balance. Gwang pressures Jun-woo into a reckless gamble. Lee Jun-woo sighs, accepting there's no retreat. He stubbornly protects the tower despite growing resistance. Lord Gwang clamps down, ordering faster progress. Jun-woo's stubbornness drives him toward a dangerous shortcut. Suddenly, the Centaur Council declares a chaotic final race that could reshape destiny. I don't think there's any other way now. The Centaur Council blasts a horn, announcing today's ultimate race. The icebound dragon erupts, frost flooding the arena. Lee Jun-woo lifts the crystal, channeling its force. A radiant shield blankets the crowd, freezing the dragon's claws. Frost recedes, leaving a hushed field. Their defense buys precious seconds. Yet the dragon stirs, still hunting the winter heart. The dragon snarls, then retreats into icy cliffs. Spectators stare, stunned, as the crystal continues to glow. Lord Gwang watches from the shadows, eyes locked on the artifact. He signals his men forward. Their next move could seize the winter heart. Centaur racers line up at the gate, banners flashing absurd slogans like, "My wife, shall we get back together again?" The crowd cheers, unaware the race fuels a debt crisis. A rider yells, "Master Lloyd." As the dragon's chill spreads, Lloyd feels his heart freeze, breath catching. He labels the sensation winter butt and queries the cold power. The shock proves the dragon's magic now grips him. "Master Lloyd." The frozen air tightens around the competitors. Lloyd explains the cold energy freezes space and time. He likens it to a winter butt and fears for survival. He demands a clear answer, worrying repeated freezes could backfire. This insight could help control the dragon. "Give me a proper answer." Next, Lloyd tests the freeze on his own weapon. Lloyd curses the nickname Winter Butt, mutters Winter Jerk in frustration. Lloyd opens his mouth, a single gasp. "Oh," echoes across the frozen field, seizing the dragon's full attention. The moment freezes, all eyes await the next move. The dragon's next strike could shatter the race and the world. Lloyd faces a stranger accusing him of seeking the winter heart. He insists the stranger is mistaken, that he isn't the target. The stranger retreats, confused. The misidentification stalls the dragon's accusation, buying Lloyd precious time. "You're not the one, really? Yes, you've got the wrong person." Tyrannus still looms, demanding the winter heart. The stranger replies, hoping Lloyd finds the right person, then bids goodbye. He pauses, admitting he may have approached the wrong noble. Lloyd staggers as the dragon's roar reverberates. He clutches his chest, breath ragged, and blurts a pleading question. He begs the dragon to clarify its demand about the winter heart before ice seals everything. Oh, great divine founding dragon, Tyrannus, what did you just say?" The dragon's icy gaze locks onto Lloyd as the race horn blares.
Lloyd declares he already possesses the winter heart, confronting Tyrannus as the dragon accuses him of theft and demands proof of his royal lineage. Lloyd risks his honor and marriage, yet clings to fleeting hope that Queen Wa can validate his claim, while his identity teeters on the brink of disgrace. Tyrannus roars, ice poised to freeze Lloyd as his desperate plea for clarification hangs unanswered, leaving his fate and the winter heart's truth dangling on the edge of annihilation.
They walked right into his hands. Subscribe to Manwa with Harry to see the trap close.
Lloyd snatches the winter heart, its icy pulse sparking the Dragon King's rage. The greatest estate developer, the glyph 7C73 blazing on his coat, strides into the throne hall. Courtiers freeze, whispers ricochet. Some demand an oracle, others sense doom. A guard glances nervously at the heart, wondering its cost. The developer unfurls a scroll, his eyes cutting through the crowd. The air thickens, unease spreads like cold fog. The king's advisor mutters forgotten legends of a heart that can halt time itself. Allies and foes blur, no one knows his true intent. Tension crackles as the council readies its questions. Their next demand could unleash the heart's hidden power. The Dragon King spreads massive wings atop his balcony, a thunderous roar shaking marble pillars. Lloyd grips a rolled blueprint tighter, scanning the crowd for allies. Yal slides a concealed dagger into his sleeve, resolve flickering. A tiny hamster perched on a column squeaks, nudging a loose stone that reveals a hidden doorway. Darkness yawns behind the column, an escape route or a stealthy flank. Council members exchange glances, whispers of retreat clash with murmurs of defense. The Magenta Queen clutches her silk ribbon, uncertain if the secret passage will aid their plan. Yal seizes the moment, preparing a desperate gamble that could force the dragon to regurgitate the Winter Heart. Javier demands proof of the claim. A speaker affirms the Dragon King's absolute rule, calling him simply he. He warns Javier that any direct fight ends in gruesome death. The warning underscores the dragon's overwhelming might and the futility of a head-on assault. Council now must consider alternative tactics. Soon someone will openly threaten the dragon, forcing a bold proposal. Lloyd steps forward, confronting the dragon. "Cease your threat to the world's order," he declares. "I can handle you myself." The dragon snarls, replying, "Your face already bears death's mask." Yal leans in, voice low, unveiling his plan. He declares he must halt the Dragon King so Lloyd can escape the battlefield. The promise sets a risky counter-move that could free the noble family. He outlines a trap, using the giant hamster's strength to yank the dragon's tail away. Lloyd nods, already tweaking his aqueduct blueprint to collapse the tunnel behind the beast.
I must stop the dragon so Lloyd can escape.
The Dragon King lifts his claw, fire humming at the tip. Lloyd watches, clutching his compass tighter. He calculates the collapse point of his aqueduct blueprint. The dragon snarls, poised to strike. Lloyd steps forward, eyes narrowed, and mutters, "Okay then."
Lloyd yanks the lever, unleashing a thunderous steel piston that barrels into the tunnel behind the Dragon King, just as the beast raises its fire-blazing claw for a lethal strike. Yal stakes his fleeting life for immortal fame, desperate to free Lloyd and the noble family, his heart trembling between reckless glory and the crushing weight of possible oblivion. The Dragon King pauses, eyes flickering between Yal's defiant grin and the looming piston, the battlefield's fate teetering on a blade's edge as the beast's next move remains unknown.
You'll never have to search for chapter summaries again. Subscribe to Manwa with Harry and let them come to you.